Once upon a time, in a mist-covered kingdom nestled between silver mountains and deep emerald forests, there lived a princess named Elenora. Her castle was carved from moonstone, and her gardens bloomed with roses that never wilted. But despite the beauty around her, Elenora was desperately lonely. Her mother, Queen Adela, had passed away when she was a child, and her father, King Thorn, grew colder each year, locked away in matters of war and power. Elenora was left to roam the castle halls alone, her laughter echoing off stone walls and fading into silence. She had no friends, no brothers or sisters, and the ladies of the court were too afraid of the king to spend time with her. Her only comfort was a dusty old library in the tallest tower, where she would read tales of faraway lands, brave warriors, and daring princesses who saved their kingdoms. But reading stories only made her heart ache more. She didn't want a perfect gown or a golden crown. She wanted someone who would listen to her dreams, walk beside her in the forest, and laugh at her silly jokes. She wanted love, the kind of warm, deep love that didn't vanish with the seasons. One night, as a thunderstorm shook the sky and rain lashed the windows, Elenora crept into the library. She lit a candle and noticed something odd. A large book she had never seen before. The cover was bound in dark velvet, and across it were the words, "The Mirror of the Heart." Curious, she opened the book. To her shock, instead of words, the pages held shimmering silver glass. Her reflection stared back at her, eyes sad, mouth tight. But then something changed. The mirror rippled like water, and another girl appeared. This girl looked exactly like Elenora, but her eyes sparkled with mischief and joy. "Who are you?" Elenora gasped. "I'm you," said the reflection with a grin. "The you that could be, the one you're too afraid to become." Elenora backed away. "This is a trick." "Not a trick," said the other Elenora. "A choice. Step through the mirror and you'll find what your heart truly seeks. But beware, the path is not easy." Elenora hesitated. She had always obeyed, always stayed within her golden cage, but something in her heart stirred, something wild, something brave. She stepped forward. As soon as her fingertips touched the mirror, a swirl of wind pulled her in. The world turned upside down, and when she opened her eyes, she was standing in a forest of stars. Each tree shimmered with starlight, the ground glowed beneath her feet, and in the air, music floated like drifting snow. "Where am I?" she whispered. A voice answered from behind a tree. "You are in the realm of the true heart. Here, every step tests your spirit. Only those who know their worth can find what they seek." The speaker was a fox, tall, silver-furred, and speaking like a man. "You must pass 3 trials, Princess Elenora, or remain in loneliness forever." The fox led her to a dark cave. Inside, her voice echoed with every thought. "I'm not good enough, not brave enough, no one loves me." The echoes grew louder, meaner, surrounding her like a storm. Elenora dropped to her knees. "Stop it!" she cried. Then she remembered something her mother once told her when she was small. "When fear speaks loud, speak louder with truth." She stood tall. "I am worthy. I am kind. I am brave enough to walk alone." The echoes fell silent. A soft light filled the cave. The first trial was complete. The second trial brought her to a garden filled with floating lights, each one a forgotten wish. She saw her own, a wish to sing, to dance, to play in the rain. She tried to catch one, but it vanished. The fox said, "To pass this trial, you must rekindle a forgotten dream." Elenora thought hard. Then she remembered, when she was 5, she wanted to be a storyteller, just like her mother. She found a flute lying in the grass. Picking it up, she played the tune her mother had once sung to her. Slowly, the lights returned, surrounding her like stars. She smiled through tears. She had remembered joy. The second trial was won. For the final trial, she stood before another mirror. This time, she saw herself as she truly was, not a princess in gowns, but a girl who longed for love, who had faced fear and walked through pain. The fox asked, "Will you accept yourself? Not the perfect version, but the real one?" Elenora looked at the mirror, then at her own hands, scraped from the journey, tired but strong. She whispered, "I do." The mirror shimmered and shattered into silver butterflies, swirling around her, lifting her into the sky. When she opened her eyes, she was back in the library, but something had changed. The room was brighter, her heart was lighter. The very next morning, she did something she had never done before. She walked into the village alone, without her guards. She helped an old woman carry her basket. She sat with children and read them fairy tales. She laughed and cried with them. Word spread fast. The lonely princess was no longer hiding. The people adored her. They hadn't feared her. They simply never knew her. Over time, Elenora opened the castle to the villagers. She held festivals in the courtyard, built schools, and taught the children how to read. Her library was no longer a secret place, but the heart of the kingdom. As the years passed, the king softened too. He watched his daughter, once so quiet and pale, now strong and joyful. For the first time in many years, he smiled. One day, a traveler arrived, a kind young scholar named Eric, who shared her love of books and stories. They became friends, then something more. But unlike in the fairy tales, Elenora did not need saving. She had already saved herself. When she married, she did not wear a golden crown, but a wreath of wildflowers. And on the day she became queen, her first law was this: no one in this kingdom shall ever be left to feel alone. Every voice matters, every heart belongs. And so, the lonely princess became a beloved queen, not because she found a prince, but because she found herself. And that made all the difference. Moral of the story: true love begins with self-love. Courage doesn't always roar. It often whispers in lonely moments, asking us to believe in our worth. And even the loneliest heart can become the light of an entire kingdom